Have you heard about the massive business credit card from Navy Fed? They're actually granting credit limits up to $125,000. Check this out, $125,000. In today's conversation, I want to break it down for you. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about a massive credit card, business credit card that is, from Navy Federal Credit Union. Maximum credit limit, $125,000. Folks, before we get into the nitty-gritty, please understand this video is informational, it's instructional, it is educational. We're not getting any money, any cash from Navy Fed for doing this show. This is purely educational, all right? So let's talk about the credit card facts. So I'm talking to you about the Gold-Based Rewards credit card. The maximum limit under this program as of today is $125,000. This is an unsecured business credit card, and the APR as low as prime plus 5.90%. And so the prime was a 3.25% as of July 2021. So we're talking here a range of 9.15% to 17.15%. All right. So this is something you have to think about. And the speed of application review, 72 hours. So they'll get back to you within 3 days. And extra condition, you got to be a member of the credit union. So in our view, the Gold-Based Rewards credit card has all the accoutrements of a superior business credit card. This card has all the paraphernalia of a premium business credit card. And I don't care if people say, well, this is not a card issued by a traditional bank. But guess what? This card has a potential limit of $125,000. This is fantastic. So the card is great because it offers a good rate. The fees are great. The rewards is fantastic. It offers fraud protection, digital access, travel features. But you got to be a member though, right? I'll speak about how to become a member very soon. So membership with Navy Federal Business Solutions is exclusive to Navy Fed Credit Union members. So as a business member, you have access to small business professionals, competitive business credit offerings, and more. And I'm showing you on the screen. Here is a link to the membership section of Navy Fed. It's very easy. Honestly, to become a member, you or one of your family or household members must have ties to the Armed Forces, Department of Defense, or National Guard. And but if you call them up, they will actually walk you through the process. There are many other ways to join Navy Federal Credit Union without military affiliation. You just got to call them up or chat with the rep to learn more. And to join, you'll need to have your social security number, driver's license, or government ID, current home address, and credit card or bank account and routing number to fund your account. So now let me talk to you a little bit about Navy Fed. Again, folks, we are talking about a massive business credit card from Navy Federal Credit Union. Potential limit, $125,000. This is fantastic. And this card is issued by Navy Fed. And let's talk about Navy Fed a little bit. Now, Navy Fed, for those of you who are not familiar with this organization, the organization was founded at the end of the Great Depression by 7 Navy Department employees who wanted to help themselves and their co-workers reach their financial goals. So the company has been around for a while. They've been around for a long time. And this company, it's not a company, it's an organization. So it's a credit union. It's a member-owned, not-for-profit. Okay. So they are exclusively serving the military, veterans, and their families. And their members are owners, not just customers. Okay, so this is important. This company is a strong, safe, and secure. Can you believe that basically they've been around for so long and they've been doing great stuff over several decades? That's fantastic. And of course, any account that you have with them, the savings account is insured up to $250,000, and IRAs will fund up to $250,000 also. Okay, and the financial strength, you can see on the screen that this organization is financially sound. They have billions of dollars on their balance sheets. Okay, so they're secure, so they can afford to issue business credit cards with such a high limit. And so after evaluating this organization on tens of criteria, including the credit card variety, the credit card amount, generosity, the cost, the reputation of the business, and their customer service, we assign this organization a perfect score of 10 over 10. In our view, Navy Federal Credit Union deserves a 10 over 10. This organization is so well run, so well managed. It's just amazing. And even on Trustpilot, you can see that the reviews corroborate what we have said. So they actually have an excellent score of 4.7 out of 5 stars from 4,749 reviewers. That's just fantastic. And with this company, you have plenty of benefits. You access small business professionals. You access a network of small business professionals. They focus on veteran-owned businesses. They have the backing of the Navy Federal Credit Union, and you have 24/7 account service, and even for credit cards. Okay, and they actually through the card, you have access to business-specific solutions. You have tailored insurance options, competitive credit offerings, low fees and competitive dividends, and you have easy payments and payroll processing. Now let's talk about the card in depth, folks. I am just so excited here because I'm talking to you about an enormous credit card, business credit card from Navy Federal Credit Union. Okay, the card itself is not enormous; it's the limit that is enormous, $125,000. And we're showing this baby on the screen right now. Just wonderful. Let's dig a little deeper here. What are we talking about with this card? This is a reliable rewards business card from Navy Fed. Okay, and this card is excellent for smaller businesses that want to earn rewards for the kinds of purchases that their staff members make every day. And the card earns 1 point per dollar spent with no cap on the number of points earned. And the cool thing here is that based on our analysis, we've seen that the points are redeemable for cashback, travel, gift cards, and way more. I mean, it's just amazing. And you have redemption available from as little as 1,000 points. Okay, so this is great. So this card is ideal for those who are members of the Navy Federal Credit Union. If your business want to earn rewards for the purchases your company makes, if you don't want to pay an annual fee, or you want to provide multiple employees with access to the account, that's wonderful. One thing I need to clarify though, the aggregate limit is 125,000. So if you have 10 employees, the thing is, not all of them will get 125. They might get 10 grand here, 12 grand here, 20 grand here, but the aggregate should be 125, should never exceed 125. Okay, so the regular APR here, 915 to 1715, balance transfer APR, same thing, cash advance APR 1115 to 1915%. This is variable. And cash advance transaction fee, if this is performed at an ATM other than one that is owned by NFCU, up to $1 for ATM cash advances. The penalty APR 14.25% variable. Okay, and there is a late payment penalty of up to $20. Same thing for a return payment penalty fee. So the card has a constellation of features and benefits that you will love as a small business owner or a business owner. I don't like the term small business owner, but that's another topic. So you have no annual fee. This card is available as Visa or MasterCard. No foreign transaction fees, no earnings cap, great for travel and expenses, multiple card holders available, zero liability policy for unauthorized transactions. And if you want to learn more about the card, the additional terms, I'm showing this to you on the screen, as well as the link where you can read more about the card itself and the terms. So we're going to leave this a little bit on the screen for a few seconds. All right, let me talk to you now about eligibility. Again, folks, we are talking about a humongous business credit card. Humongous here means that the limit is high, okay? $125,000. And if you have bad credit, low credit, no credit, fair credit, good credit, you can qualify. You might not get that 125, but you could still qualify. They will look at your dossier, your application, and see whether or not you can qualify. Okay, so this is great, and this is a massive credit card, fantastic card. Now, how do you qualify for it? First thing is you need to be a member of a Navy Fed. That's just the basic. This is the fundamental. That's just like the prerequisite, right? We're not even talking about that. Then you need to have business history, 6 months minimum. In other words, if you're a startup, you have to be at least in business for 6 months. And then you want to pay attention to a few other things. You want to pay attention to your business plan. Okay. Especially if you are a startup, you want to really focus on projected data, right? You want to share with Navy Federal, their staff, their underwriters, the ambitions that you have for your company. And so you have to prove that in projected balance sheets, income statement, and cash flow statements. You want to talk about your annual revenue. This is important. They pay attention to that. And you also need to pay attention to your business credit score, right? So your Intelli score, your Paydex score, and your Equifax score. Bottom line is you need to have a credit. You need to have a credit score from the 3 major credit bureaus, business credit bureaus, that is, DNB, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. So this is very important. And you also want to pay attention to things like your business tax returns, your personal tax returns, your business insurance plans, your incorporation documents, right? Articles of incorporation or articles of organization, depending on the kind of legal structure you have. This is important. And one thing I also want to say here is that with Navy Federal Credit Union, make sure that you speak to someone. Make sure that you open a bank account. Make sure that you open a checking account at the personal level and a checking account at the business level. Make sure that you also open a savings account if you can. The bottom line is, as I've said in other shows, you want to expand the scope of business, the realm of business you have with Navy Federal, so that they might look at your application form more favorably. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm speaking to you today about a gigantic business credit card from Navy Federal Credit Union. We are talking about a credit card that has up to $125,000 in credit limits. That's just wonderful. It's mind-blowing, but it is possible. Okay, you just have to have the right strategy, the right plan, and you can get it. So now let's talk about the evidence needed. So for you to qualify for this card, what is the evidence that the Navy Fed wants to see from you? First of all, you can actually apply online, but we strongly do not recommend to apply online. I will explain later on what I mean by that. But what you want to do is you want to go to a branch. You want to sit down with the rep. You want to have a conversation with them. If possible, you can have the application in paper and in paper form, and you want to fill it out and then send it back to them. You can scan it and email it to them, but you first need to talk to them. You want to have, along with the application, you want to have your financial statements. If you are a new company, if you're a startup, then you want to have projected financial statements. If you are an established company, you need to have historical financial statements, but also projected financial statements. Anything for the last 3 years will do. It's better to break it down by quarter. So Navy Fed officers, their lending officers can see progress. It's a lot easier to talk about 12 quarters than to talk about 3 months in terms of analysis. And you also want to write a business plan. This is just quintessential. This is critical for you to contextualize the situation, the operational situation and financial situation your company is currently in, especially if it is not in a good condition. If there are problems internally within the business or externally, right? This is important. If you are in a sector that is cyclical, those things are important. So you want to have a business plan. You also need to have resumes. So you want to have resumes. So you want to have resumes for not only the manager, the managing director, like that, the founder of the company, but also the key staff. If you are a solo business, then you want to have your own resume. That's fine also. But if you are a solo business, though, just make sure that you don't have a sole proprietorship. I'm not talking about just getting an EIN from the IRS. It's easy to get an EIN, but you got to incorporate. Okay, you got to incorporate. If you want to get up to $125,000 limit for this credit card, you need to have an LLC, a limited liability company, an LP, or an S corp or C corp. You cannot get this card if you are a sole proprietorship. I repeat it, you cannot. Okay, and you want to do things offline, not online. Speaking about doing things offline, let me talk to you about how to apply. Again, we're talking about this massive business credit card from Navy Federal Credit Union, a card that has the potential to grant you a limit of up to $125,000. All kinds of credit profiles are welcome, whether you have bad credit, low credit, no credit, good credit, fair credit, excellent credit, doesn't matter. There are other things. I mean, it does matter. Not doesn't matter. It does matter. But the Navy Fed is looking at a constellation of criteria to approve you. They're looking at these things holistically, not just one element, but several elements taken together. So how do you apply? I'm showing you right now the contact page for Navy Federal. You want to contact a rep for more information. The reason is that the form itself is not online, because first you have to be a member. And once you are a member and you open a business checking account or a personal checking account with them, you will have access to your account, and on the dashboard you will see a link to credit cards, and from there you can apply. In any case, please do not apply online. Do not apply online. You want to you can actually fill out the form, go all the way to the submission page, but do not hit submit. You just print things as you go along, and or you can just print the whole form. If you have it as a PDF, you just print it out and you just fill it out manually. Either way, you want to talk to someone before. The application can be processed, can be sent to Navy Fed via email, fax, web form. In other words, completed on their website. You can do it over the phone. You can visit the branch. You can mail it in. Our preference and our strong recommendation is that you do this thing at the branch. If you are in an area where you are close, you are very near our Navy Fed branch, go ahead and sit with someone and have a conversation. If not, just talk over the phone. You want to talk to your account manager. You want to get your paperwork ready, and the business plan. Again, I've said this before, but the business plan is quintessential when it comes to getting the 125 massive business credit card from Navy Fed. Before I close today's conversation, let's talk a little bit about, let me give you a few pro tips. So we have been talking about what? We've been talking about a large business credit card from Navy Federal Credit Union. Maximum limits, $125,000. So we have to be strategic in finding ways to actually get the credit card, okay? And one thing you need to do is you want to prepare a business plan, but you want to have an updated business plan at all times. And the best way to do this, and in our view, the cheapest way, is actually to do it through software. We have software as diverse as LivePlan. You have GoBiz. You have Enloop. You have Business Sorter. Because if you have to hire someone and you have to update the plan, you have to pay the person again. But if you have software and you can just change numbers here and there, you're paying them anyway, maybe $20 or $9 or $15 a month. You can just do this for 1 or 2 or 3 months. And after you get the credit card, then you can just close the account. But my point is, you need to have a business plan. You want to make sure that your cash flow statements are good. Cash flow statements for every quarter are good in terms of cash, because you're going to need cash. You want to also have rosier revenue metrics, so that when Navy Federal looks at your income statements, they know that you've been doing some progress here, right? And the thing here is that if you don't qualify for this particular credit card, Navy Federal has other programs, other credit cards also. They might have a business line of credit based on where you live. They might have business loans, right? So do not panic. Do not worry if you don't qualify. Even if you don't qualify for the high amount, the 100,000, the 125,000 limit, you could still qualify for a lower amount. And that's what we're looking for anyway, right? You want to shoot for the moon, and if you fall, you just fall among the stars. That's all it is. So, and you also want to constantly monitor your credit, business credit and personal credit, because those two are correlated. Those two are linked. They're intertwined. Very important. All right, folks, this was it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about a massive business credit card from Navy Federal Credit Union, and maximum amount, maximum limit, $125,000. And I've spoken to you about the card itself, about the company, about the organization rather, the eligibility, the evidence needed, how to apply, and I gave you a few pro tips to close this conversation. Thank you so much. I will see you next time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.